A woman has revealed she was stood up at the airport after spending $380 on a flight to meet a man
Mm,
she'd been talking to online.
mm,
Jasmine Triggs from Fort Wayne, Indiana,
mm,
had spent a week talking to a man named Jamal on iMessage. Jamal
mm.
lived in Texas and invited her out for a date. The 23-year-old, who owns a baking business, spent $380 on a plane ticket and flew 1,500 miles to see her online love interest, only to find that he had blocked her number while she was in the air. Jasmine arrived at the airport to discover she had been stood up and was now stranded in Texas as Jamal had promised to pay for her flight home.
Wow.
She said, I was talking to this guy for about a week and he asked me to come out to Texas. We were talking and talking and talking every day about where he went to school, how he'd been a cheerleader and had a robotics company. I liked him. We had been getting to know each other, but it was sexual as well. He was asking me sexual stuff and he was saying he couldn't wait to see me and that he'd cleaned his living room for me.
Oh, how romantic.
Uh,
Is that supposed to be a
however, was
flex?
she? That's supposed to
To
be
clean
what?
my living room. Okay.
Hey, listen. Hey,
Aren't
don't
you
nobody.
supposed to do that for yourself?
Listen, don't nobody clean up their apartment faster than a nigga who's trying to get some coochie. That's it's. I'm telling you.
Say it again for the ones that came late in the back.
Listen, hey, welcome to the Good and Terrible Show, everybody. My name is Travi. That's MC Light Skin right there. And look, I know y'all been listening to this article I've been reading because I forgot that Mickey said she was recording. But welcome back to the Good and Terrible Show. And let me tell you something. I'll repeat this one more time. Don't nobody clean their apartment faster than a nigga who's expecting to get some coochie. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, ladies, if you haven't seen your man in a couple of weeks or so, if you've been away, you took a trip or whatever, it's just been a little while, text him tonight that you on your way over. And when you get there, look how tired he probably is and how freshly clean his apartment looks. I'm telling you, he just would spend 20, 30, 45 minutes cleaning that apartment before you got over there, making sure the bed was made, the sheets was washed, the toilet was cleaned,
Mm.
the
All the
carpet was
socks are off the
vacuumed.
floor.
You know what I'm
All the
saying?
dirty towels are off the.
Everything is folded. All
Mm.
the stuff that ain't folded is shoved in the closet, and you can't go in there.
He pushed all the dirty clothes back under the bed instead of being out on the floor. Like,
Facts.
ooh, so clean.
This nigga
But
dusted for the first time all 2020.
but you know what's funny? That all of that wears off after a while. Like after the newness wears off, it's like I don't have to clean up as much.
Oh yeah,
Like
if you
6 months
already got
in,
the
niggas ain't doing all of that.
if you've already got the coochie at least like 3 4 times, you be like, all right, she just
You
gonna have to deal
solid
with some
now.
dirty clothes.
Yeah, you solid now. But I mean, even if even if you even if you did the first couple times, eventually, if he's messy, you gonna find out because it's gonna come out eventually. Like,
No,
yeah,
niggas will still clean the bathroom for real
will they?
though. That's the one, or at least the toilet. He might not clean the shower all the way, but he's definitely gonna clean the toilet if you on the way over there.
Like what?
Because
What?
women be judging the hell out of it. You want to know why? Because if a nigga lives by himself, he don't really flip the toilet lid up that often. You know what I'm saying? He just either leave it all the way up all the time or he leave it down all the time. It's one or the other. We don't be doing flipping because we don't have no reason to. We the only one using it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, um, there's liable to be some splashes of different things that happen on the toilet when you're not there. So we gonna clean the toilet. I'm just saying.
So you telling me like you'll have like streaks or little marks in the toilet, and y'all just like, it's okay.
Cause who am I impressing? If I live by myself.
You're yourself. Like you don't you don't have a desire to see a nice pearly white clean toilet
Oh
every
yeah, I
day.
do. It's gonna get clean, like twice a month. You know what I'm saying? But hey,
What that's nasty. You using the
how? I'm the
toilet.
only one using it.
It's still your germs. That toilet
Hey,
should be sparkling white. You know my rules.
hey, listen.
You know
But you
me.
OCD, you clean your shower
Whatever.
I mean not your shower. You clean your toilet literally every day.
Yes,
That's
almost after
weird.
every time I use it,
That's weird.
because I like my toilet like I like my white privilege,
It's
pearly and perfect.
what?
No, I was
You
making
like
a
you
joke
like
about white
you
privilege,
like
but I didn't
you
mean
like pearly
to.
white privilege? I knew
That's
you was
all
a
it is.
Republican. I knew it. I knew it. You you
It
Mike
was
Pence
me.
supporter.
That's why I landed on Pence's head
I was
yesterday.
about
It
to
was
say
me.
that's why you got Pence in the background right there.
Plot twist. I was the fly.
Nah, the fly was dark skinned. You too light for that.
No, my joke went left. I didn't piece it together before I said it, and I've been drinking wine all day, guys, and you
She been
work from
drinking
home.
wine. That's it. It is. Look, hold on. Go get the label because I want everybody to see
It's
this.
in the trash now. It was
Uh, she
it's
was
the
drinking. Go ahead. Tell
it's
them what kind of wine it was.
because you gonna clown me.
Yep.
It's elder not elderberry. What was it? Elder. Let me go get it. Hold on.
This girl got strawberry elderflower wine. That don't even sound.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sound like
yeah. I don't even
just
get it.
regular juice
Elderflower.
flavors. It don't even sound like something wine should be made in.
You know why I was upset? Because I didn't look at the alcohol level. It's only 5%. I was like, that's why I took a whole bottle for me to feel a little something. The other one I normally get is I don't know the brand. Now, another thing about Aldi's, the best snacks, Aldi's. The best wine for a good price, you're not gonna break the bank, Aldi. Rosé, Moscato, Pink Moscato, whatever you want, you got it there.
Now that is true. They do have some good wine at Aldi
Bomb
though.
wines.
But listen, elderflower don't even sound like nothing that niggas should be drinking. That like I've never once been
It's funny.
outside and been like, oh, there's an elderflower right there. I didn't even know that word until today. Like when you
You've
said
heard
it.
of elderberry before.
Yeah, elderberry and niggas don't
Yeah.
even be eating that either.
Yeah, we do. It's good for your immune system.
That don't mean we
Jesse
eat
got
it.
me on it. Yeah, I had a little elderberry.
Just eat
You
from
take the
Blacksburg.
vitamins and then you take don't do Blacksburg like that. You take the vitamins. You can take the little drops, but no, it's good. So
Yeah.
what you think about so we're gonna talk about both debates a little bit, but I put the fly up because I was just so impressed by how I can't talk.
The
I was
relentlessness of the fly.
The fly did not budge. I have had a fly land on me, and as soon as I move or blink, it moves. The fly was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here."
I don't even think Mike Pence knew it was there.
And that's nothing. How did he not feel it? How did you
I
not
don't
feel the
know.
fly on your head? It's like he's a robot. Like you didn't hear it.
Listen.
It's
Well,
weird,
no, you
bro.
don't always hear a fly. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel like you do.
yeah, if it flies
Excuse
by
me.
your ear, you know what I'm saying? But if it just flies directly on the top of your head,
But once he lands, most of the time it's like you'll hit.
I mean, it's probably a toupee anyway.
Wait,
Probably
did you
landed
catch
on fake
that?
hair.
Did you
Yeah, I
hit it?
did. Is that how the fly does it?
Yeah,
Only you would have a wrist movement to emulate a fly.
that's how he landed. He was like,
Just coming down like
"Stop."
a landing strip.
What if the fly call air control was like, "Is it clear? Am I clear to land here?"
Yeah,
He's
because
like,
that
"Yeah, land right here
look at
on
that
the
comb
edge."
over. Look at that pristine Southern white man
Bruh,
comb over that he got going on.
that's that silver,
That is OD.
that silver Republicans comb over.
Yup. That
Just
just screams, I have illegal immigrants working for me.
it's great. And I call them out their name. Like what?
I never even realized how big Mike Pence's forehead is either.
He got a chrome dome. I think the funniest part, I didn't watch the whole debate, the whole VP debate. I did watch the whole presidential debate. It was a circus and a half. I was shaking
Yeah.
my head like
I saw
80% of
the
the
whole
time.
presidential debate and I saw most of the vice presidential debate. And bro, when I tell you niggas don't know the meaning of the word interrupted or uninterrupted,
Right.
like that I don't think I've ever seen that much chaos from whole grown adults. They're not even like fresh adults, like people who just got grown. These are people who've been grown since Soul Train, since like the 70s. You know what I'm saying? These are
They've
people
been paying taxes for at least 50 years
you know
plus.
what I'm saying? Donald Trump been grown since segregation. Like this is like bro, you old at this point, Donald. He's AARP you know, getting early blockbuster deals at
See the early
stores.
bird special
You know
old,
what I'm
like the
saying?
guinea's old.
The Sunday matinee specials at movie theaters. Like this nigga is old. He's like 80. Like you should know how to have a full debate at this point. You are a whole 80-year-old child.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he debate for the previous? Like, they don't do debates unless you're running the second time, right? Because I'm like,
No,
no. Did he debate
no.
before?
Hell yeah. What? That was hilarious. You don't remember him calling Hillary a nasty woman?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I didn't watch that one. That's why I'm like, I feel like they debated because I was wondering, did he behave just as bad,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
or
It was
was it, or
pure.
was this worse?
It was pure comedy. Like I thought that was the shadiest debate I had ever seen in my life until the Biden Trump debate. That was just, bro. Yo, my man Biden came out. he said, "Will you shut up, man? You clown." If you get called a clown on national TV by an old white man, just go ahead and hang it up at that point. It's a wrap for your career. Like, at least in my opinion,
Yeah,
the
I feel
day is
like he
done.
wanted to say something else, but Joe was like, "Nah, I'm a chill," because I feel
Oh,
like he
easily.
wanted to call him something a little more colorful, like a
Oh, we easily
son of
were calling them
a
all that
biscuit.
from our homes.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
watching TV was calling them names.
like this nigga is crazy.
Speaking of which, shout out to this gorgeous woman behind me, Kamala Harris,
I like how they did the
for her
colors for her
performance
too.
yesterday.
Yeah. They were talking about like how I was watching Charlamagne talk about, which is true, how she had to be really, really careful about what she said, how she responded, her tone, because every time a black woman has an opinion or we talk about something or we're passionate, we're angry, we're upset. So she had to kind of like tone it down a little bit, which I think is unfair
Oh, but
because
but she said you will not lecture me on my job.
yeah, you
She
heard
said
what she
you will
said.
not, Mr. Vice President.
Listen.
Listen, she did do a really good job of watching her tone and picking her language selectively, but you could read everything in them facial expressions though. Ooh.
Black women don't have to say anything. We just have that look that's like, I'll sock you right now on this stage where
she
I
got she
don't
got
care
kids,
about
right?
none of
Does
this.
she have kids?
I don't believe so. I know she's married. I don't think she has children. I don't think.
I'd be surprised to find out if she didn't have kids because them looks was Black Mother 101. No, not even 101. That's like advanced Black Mother. That's Black Mother 301. The looks that she was given.
Like level 14, like you've excelled and now you're like at the master class.
Yeah.
It's major auntie vibes. Like even if you don't have children, you still have that like because I feel like we all like all black women have it inside of us because we learned it from our mothers. That look that's like, okay now,
Not
but you
all of
don't
them
have to
do.
say
You
it.
got to kind of work. You got to be around some kids to really develop that, or just somebody who's
Yeah.
testing your patience. You know what I'm saying? So you look. The worst beating I ever got as a kid was from my aunt. It wasn't even from my parents.
Really?
So, hell yeah, my aunt was heavy hitting like a mother.
What did you do?
I don't even remember. That was a thing, and it was in Connecticut, so it was cold. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that made it
Wait,
worse. My
no, no,
bare
no.
butt out in the cold
Wait.
Connecticut
Why
air.
do you remember the temperature and the state, but you don't remember what you did?
I really don't. I was a kid. I don't remember what I did. I remember. Listen, it's easy to remember the temperature because Connecticut got one temperature. It's cold.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. You were like, damn it, it's cold and I don't even know what I did. You
Facts.
just like, ugh, this husky voice
speaking
heard
of
you.
speaking of facts, though, and I do really actually have to commend Kamala Harris for her performance because I feel like she really did give a strong performance based on facts,
Mm-hmm.
and based on public information, stuff that you can actually, really look up and be like, oh yeah, that is true. The fact checking was legit. Meanwhile, Pence was throwing out a bunch of things that was like, okay, that's clearly not true. You know what I'm saying? Like we have clips to prove that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And I'm honestly, I'm not even the biggest Kamala Harris fan. I even like even before that when she got announced as the vice president, I was like, is that a good move?
Mm-hmm.
But since then, I feel like she's actually been stepping up to the plate and actually been really really impressive. So, she's starting to. I mean, I was going to vote for her regardless because I'm not voting for Trump,
Of
but I
course.
definitely think she's done a good job proving why she can be a good candidate, a good partner for Biden there. She really was riding with him. She definitely had his back during that debate, and I respected that for real.
Yeah, I think someone else mentioned that too. Like she had to kind of not cover for Joe Biden, but in a way she definitely did because he just didn't get a chance to talk. Like that's the other thing too that I I already don't think Trump is a which it doesn't matter if he's a good guy or not. It doesn't really matter. But even just like as a president, as a how old is Trump? Like 74, 75?
I
He's
think he's
old.
older than that now.
You're too old to act like this. Interrupting Joe Biden, cutting him off. It's like, oh, well, he was talking too. Like, I'm like, how old? Like, are you 5 or 6? But it's just a demeanor. He's just very overbearing, very narcissistic, very, I have to talk, you have to listen. But then when it's your turn, like, I felt bad for Joe Biden because I was just like, the man he can't even get a word in. Like every time he tries to say something, he steps on them. It's plain rude. Like that the rudeness of it is what irritated me.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, that's nothing new. He's been rude since day
Yeah,
one, even
it's
way
just his
before he was
demeanor.
president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I did feel bad for Joe Biden, but who I really felt bad for was the moderator,
Oh
because you
yeah.
could just tell he was not prepared for what he got dealt that night. He probably went home and had like 3 bourbons back to back to back, just straight to the
He
chest,
probably
no
had one
chasing.
before the debate. He was like, "Well, Lord, I guess this is it." And just took a little swig. I don't know. I felt like he was really trying his hardest to keep Trump in between, or not keep him in between, but keep him at bay. But it was just like, I don't know. And I didn't know. Did you know Joe Biden has a stuttering problem? Like he has a speech impediment?
I did not know that.
I
Well, I
didn't.
think they said that. I think they said in the debate that he used to have
Or he used
that.
to.
I think something like that.
Yeah, but it was I can't recall who said it. I think someone told Trump that, or you know how Trump's always tweeting and stuff, and somebody was like, I think Trump said the best way to trip up someone that has a speech impediment is to keep interrupting them. And it's like, how much of a terrible person are you? Know somebody has a speech impediment and you purposely keep interrupting them to make them trip up when you know it's a debate, and you know if they don't speak clearly that they won't be heard. So it's like, I know what button to push, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. It's like, I really don't like him. I really, really don't. It's so many levels to Trump, and every level that we get to, every single day, it just reminds me how much I dislike this man.
Because I mean, there's a difference between respecting you as a person and respecting you as a president, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's people throughout history that um, I don't think were great people,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we're actually pretty good presidents. Like, for example, like I think Lyndon B. Johnson is actually a really underrated president. And you can go back and look at his records. He actually did a significant amount of progress, a lot of positive things for the country, in my opinion. But as a person, he was kind of a little bit of a wank. You know what I'm saying? But um, I think it's kind of the situation where, and even more a more recent example. There's a lot of people who don't like Bill Clinton as a person. Obviously for some moral reasons or different things like that. But overall, as a president, people forget Bill Clinton. Under Bill Clinton, the U.S. had the best economy it's ever seen in like the last 150 years or something like that. He had like an insane
Oh wow,
economy.
I know it's
He did
that
a
long.
lot of
I thought it was 50, like the last 50, but I didn't know it was longer than that.
hey, it could have. I mean, it was at minimum it was a 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He had a really really booming economy, and it was probably stronger than it's ever been. I don't think it's been as strong since.
I
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
because I was a
Yeah.
kid and Christmas was lit.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm
Look,
saying? There was at that period. People give the Clintons grief because of the 3 strikes rule that they put into place, but under their economy, black people thrived more during the 90s than almost any period, man. I mean, since they had black people hadn't been that successful since pre-segregation.
mhm,
I mean not segregation, pre-integration.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people were going to college, were buying houses, were getting good jobs, moving up in the corporate world, different things like that.
yeah.
Um,
We had more positive images on
you know what I'm
TV and
saying?
the media, a
So
lot more.
so there was a lot of things that he
He
that
had nothing to do with that, but I'm just saying.
right.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things that I feel like he did do well as a president, and obviously there were things that he did badly, like that 3 strikes rule. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you still respected him. I feel like as a president, even if you didn't really like him as a person.
Right.
Um, for Trump, it's like neither. Like you're not even giving us a chance to like you as a president or as a person. You know what I'm saying? We already really didn't like him that much as a person before he became president, but then it was like, all right, listen, you won, we didn't vote for you.
Right. Let's
You
just
lost
get
the
this over
popular,
with.
you know what I'm saying? You lost the popular vote, but still somehow became president. So let's see what you got. And then he continued to mess everything up. So it's like you over two. If we can't even like you as a person, we might as well like you as a president. But you can't even give us that. We don't like you as a
Mm-mm.
president either.
Like there's no part of him that I'm like, he's okay at this. None. Every like I said, every level that we get with him, every new thing we find out about him, I'm just like, it just makes me dislike you even more. But
Even
there's
more.
there's nothing that I'm like, okay. The only thing I can say about him is it's not necessarily positive. The only thing I can say is he is who he is, and he seems very nonchalant and like unapologetic about it, which a lot
Hmm.
of people are like respect. They're like, okay, well,
Yeah,
if
I can
he's
see that.
yeah, if he's gonna be a narcissist, be 100%. Like be oblivious. If you're gonna be a racist, be the best one. So he's doing that very well. I will commend him on being an asshole to the highest degree.
This
But
dude really said stand back and stand by on national
and I
television.
was like,
They
bruh.
asked him straight up. Biden asked him. The moderator asked him like repeatedly. They're like, "Will you condemn white supremacy?" And he said, "Listen, stand back and stand by." I was like, "What?
I thought
That
I
is
was
the
dreaming. I
most."
was like, I didn't watch it live. I watched the replay on YouTube, and I was like, maybe I heard that wrong. So I went back. I was like, maybe I must have been hearing something else. I said, what did he say? I was like,
Bruh.
wow.
And I feel like if you watched the debate last night too with Biden, I'm not Biden, with Pence and Harris. I feel like a lot of people didn't really catch it. I was paying attention. I feel like it kind of went over some people's heads. Like Mike Pence was really delusional about the fact that America is a systemically racist country. Like he was like, the Biden Harris campaign has repeatedly talked about and tried to push the agenda that America is a systemically racist country, which is ridiculous. And I was like, it is a systemically racist country. I'm like, wait, hold up. Is he really trying to deny the truth? And he had the nerve to look at Kamala. He said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts." I'm like, you don't even know what the fact is. Like, I'm like, bruh,
He said
I,
it with all confidence, and that's exactly when the fly came and landed on his head, because the fly was like, all right, I gotta come on, I gotta sit in on this one. If
you
the
know why the fly did?
microphone, huh?
You know why the fly landed on his head?
Why?
Because everything he said was trash. That's what it
Or shit.
was.
Everybody said he was spitting so much bullshit. The fly was like, "This, I gotta land over here, man. This,
He
he's
said, "This nigga
spitting.
spitting."
This nigga's yeah, this nigga's spitting that bullshit." But the thing about it is, and I've, I think 2020 has already, well, of course, it's already been a long year, but I think the good part about 2020 is it revealed a lot of stuff. A lot of people were maybe doing things they shouldn't have been doing. A lot of people were hiding behind um, certain things that they may or may not have done, and certain things came to light. A lot of things were revealed this year. A lot of truths came out, right? And I think now with we've always had police brutality. We've always had unjust killings. We've always had something going on, but this year just seemed like it was amplified. And of course with quarantine, we were actually able to be more engaged in what's really going on. But I think I now understand that the people that don't want to see the systemic racism don't want to see it. It's not that it's not there. It's not anything you have to explain to them. They're literally turning their backs and going, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like there's too much evidence
They
for
don't want to.
anyone of any race, of any nationality to say there is no systemic racism in the US for black people. I don't understand how you could ever say that. And even if you're not black, it's just like you don't see what's going
Because
on.
they're the ones doing it. So they're gonna
Exactly.
there's like
He benefits from it. So he wouldn't
I was
see
gonna
it.
say I was about to say like the people who are saying there's no systemic racism towards black people are the ones doing it and want it to continue. So of course you're gonna deny it so you can keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the fact right there, Mr.
Yeah.
Pence. Mhm.
And the fact that the fly decided at that time to land and just sit there, I think they said the fly sat for like, I think like 2 or 3 minutes, I believe, and just like camped out. And even when he moved his head to talk to Kamala, the fly still sat there. And I was like, yo, this fly is literally telling us that this, I already knew it was like you said, I already knew he was just spewing trash, but it's just like the fly is like, look, y'all see me, right? I know y'all see me.
That's
Take
God.
this as a sign. That's God, like, look, whatever you do, do not vote for the dude that's under my feet right now because it's not. My question is if, and it's like they don't want to see it, but it's like if we show you evidence and we show you statistics and we show you the education, it's so many um things that are unleveled, you know what I mean? Like on all different levels. And like you said, the people that don't want to see it, especially I feel like white people that don't want to see it, don't want to see it because they benefit from it, or they don't want to see it because they don't want to admit, okay, I had a hand in this, you know what I mean? Like in some way. So they don't want to take ownership of it. But that's why I feel like the country is gonna be this way because I I think the only way to start healing is to admit there's a problem. And America doesn't want it. White America doesn't want, not all of white America, but the vast majority that are, not necessarily all Trump supporters, but I feel like it's a lot of white America that does not want to admit there's a problem because they benefit from what's going on.
Right,
So,
exactly. And you saw many times they wanted to keep talking about how they had the support of law enforcement and they supported law enforcement or whatever. But he basically looked right in the face of the camera talking to Breonna Taylor's parents and said, like, you have our sympathies, but we're very proud of our justice system and very proud of our law enforcement in America. I'm like, how much of a snake can you possibly be, dog? That is insensitive. It's insane. uh Anything that starts with IN, I could just throw out there. Like, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and it also tells you like what, again, like character, like you said, every president is not going to be perfect, every vice president is going to be perfect, but I think for this election it's like there's no human emotion. I feel like from Trump's campaign, everything is, you know okay, yeah, that's sad, but we're proud of what, like you said, we're proud of law enforcement. And it's like, to say that, and then to say her family has her sympathies, and then to say that in the back, it's like, well, they don't, because you're basically saying what the police did was right. They were right for shooting her.
Right.
They were right for having a no-knock warrant for the wrong place. They were right for not announcing themselves. They were right for locking up her boyfriend and trying to pin it on him, and then releasing him and saying, oh, it wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? Like,
And
they
then throwing it in Kamala's face during the debate, talking about, as a prosecutor, the fact that you can look at a grand jury who said the evidence was wrong or something like that, and not respect their decision or something. Like, he said something to that effect, where he was like, as a prosecutor, you should respect the grand jury's decision when they came together, took a look at the evidence, and was in favor of this decision. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, so juries never got anything wrong in their life. You know what I mean? Like there's
yeah.
not people in jail right now who are actually innocent that have been convicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the flip side, there's people out there who are guilty who got off. So you like, come on, dog.
The
It's
justice system is not perfect, and to say that it is like, again, that white privilege where it's like, oh no, everything's working fine, everything's great, like it's fine. It's like, no, it's not. The country's literally burning around you, and you're like, well, my house is fine, my house is okay, but what about everybody else? Like, that's the
Speaking of
part.
that, that's a great segue into the climate change argument. That's
Oh
basically
God.
that was basically their. This is like, he asked them a direct question
Hold on, virtual
about
high
climate
five for the
change.
segue I didn't know about. Woo!
Wow.
Wow.
They asked him like a specific question about climate change, and he gave the most roundabout answer. I wish I had the clip to go back and look at it. I should have pulled it up.
I
He
can
gave the
find it.
most roundabout answer I've ever seen in my entire life when it came to.
I didn't see that
Uh,
part. What did he say?
that's my point. I can't
Oh,
remember specifically what it said, but I remember listening to it, and I was like, wow, that was. He didn't even answer. He basically said everything without saying anything, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna
But
find it.
I mean, we don't have to show it now. It's going to take you a minute to pull it
Hey,
up.
listen.
You got
Hey,
that
listen.
kind of time.
Hey, listen. The people got time.
Do they? Do they?
I found
Do
it.
they?
Pence refused to concede climate changes. Yeah, let me see if they got the little clip. Bear
They're
with me.
basically ignoring climate change the same way that they're ignoring white supremacy.
Didn't Trump say last time that the our atmosphere? What did he say? He was like, "Oh, the
He said
U.S.
the science is wrong.
is that what
Trump
was
was on. Trump was on right in front of the media. There's a clip that's gone viral at this point in an interview that the science is wrong. There was some folks that were talking about the West Coast and the California wildfires, talking about we need to make sure we're partnering up and using the science to create a better environment and create better climate change and different things like that. And he literally said he looked at the media and said it's going to get colder. Just you watch. And then they were like, yeah, but the
yeah.
science suggests blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, the science might be wrong. And I was like, what?
Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think that, like you said, they're ignoring certain things because they don't want to believe it. But it's also like you can't ignore climate change. You can't ignore what is it? All of California that has that like with the air quality is like really bad and stuff, or is it just certain parts? Because I
Most of it's Southern California, but,
okay,
it's still not great.
yeah, okay, I got it. Let's watch it real quick.
Yeah,
You
I
was
remember
watching?
one time I was in California. This is probably like over a decade ago. This is somewhere, I think back in like high school in like the late 2000s. We were driving from LA to the Palm Springs area, right? And you got to go through like the San Bernardino area to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, when I tell you there was a whole like black cloud of smog
Oh,
over the city, like when you're driving down the highway and you take a look at a city in the distance, you can kind of see it. When the air quality is that bad, it's like a big brownish gray, blackish cloud of smog that was chilling over San Bernardino at the time. It was
and
crazy.
it's over the whole city.
It was over a large part of it. It was a big cloud
Okay.
of smog. Like,
Yeah. I have the clip, but it's not loading. I'll put it in the video. I'll throw it in the middle so everybody can see it.
cool.
But yeah, I pretty much it's like of course I'm going to vote. I'm not happy. I'm not ecstatic about my vote, but I think that the hardest part is like what people will always say is like, why do we always have to? It's like there's never going to be a perfect candidate, right? But at the same time,
Never has been.
never has been, never will be. But at the same time, especially for Black people, we have to vote in our best interests. And Trump has that plan, and I don't know if it's legitimate, but well, I forgot how much money he was saying, like some $1 million number for Black people. I don't know if it was for scholarships or schools. It was something,
It
but
was
it
for
was.
HBCUs.
Thank you. That's what it was for.
It wasn't a
And
plan. He gave government funding to HBCUs to help a lot of, because there were a lot. It's no secret that there's a lot of HBCUs that have been struggling economically for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You got like the big ones that everybody talks about, like the Howards and the Morehouse and FAMU and there's like famous HBCUs, but there's a lot of HBCUs out there that people don't talk about that don't have those high attendance numbers that have been really struggling for a long time. And Trump did give government funding to HBCUs to help out that situation, which is one thing, right? But then to sit there and say that he's done more for Black people than any president in since Lincoln, I'm like,
you're bugging.
yeah. So
Nice
so
try,
you're
but
the
no.
one that passed the civil rights bill. So
Oh yeah,
you know, so you're the one that freed the
but you're
slaves,
the
or
same one that said, stand. What do you say? Stand back
stand back and
and
stand
stand
by.
by. Exactly.
Yeah,
So you want them to kill us, but just not right at this moment. Like it's basically
basically.
what you're saying. Like
But
he's yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say in conclusion to the American people out there that are watching, please make sure that you vote this year. It's more important now than ever, and um, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, Biden, but just make sure that you cast your vote appropriately, and you get your votes in early. Make sure that they are counted. Don't let them try to swindle you out of a vote, whether you're voting in person, by mail, online, however you're voting. Make sure that, hey, my vote will count, and that you're getting this clown out of office. But
Yeah, hopefully. But I will say this, and then you can close it out. I honestly think that Trump's going to win again. I've already
oh,
mentioned
stop
it.
it, stop
Listen,
it.
listen, listen. You can say what you want, right?
I
I
told you
try
Mickey
to.
was Republican. I
I'm
told
not.
y'all.
Don't spew that. Don't spew that rumor. Don't do that. Do not do that. My mother would call and be like, "What the hell is this I hear that Travis said?" Like, Mom, you gonna
If she
believe him?
watched this video, she gonna see,
No.
hey, Mrs. Ford, look, right there, that's your daughter. She said it.
What I'm saying is, there are a lot of people that support Trump, black, white, Latino, whatever, right? But because I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily love Kamala and Joe as a Democratic candidate, the same thing happened with Hillary and Trump, where a lot of people didn't vote. I'm hoping it doesn't happen this time, but he's grabbed a lot of people up because of that stimulus. And remember, he said he's
He's
not going
also
to release.
lost a lot of people too, though.
Right, true. But I'm saying I don't know. It's just like it's just gonna be like you said, if everybody goes out and vote, if they count everything, it's just so many different factors in it. And for me, I like to already have in my mind what may or may not happen. So I'm already playing out the scenario like, okay, he might get back in there. At the end of the
I mean,
day,
there's always a chance for might, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's a 50-50 chance.
at the end of the day, I am not worried. It is what's gonna be. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. We're gonna keep doing what we've been doing. But on the local level, I feel like those are the things we have to focus on with voting as well too. Because I can't even say for me, I don't pay attention to like the mayors, the I don't even know all the other local offices, but stuff like that. Like those are the things that affect you.
Governors,
Where governors, where you live,
the
your state.
attorney general for your state, different things like
Exactly.
that.
Those are things that because the presidential vote, of course, is important, but this affects you in your state where you live, where your children live, where you go to school, where you pay taxes. So vote, but also make sure that you pay attention to those local elections as well too, because I'm guilty of that. I've ignored it, and I'm like, I don't need to go vote for that. But now I'm older, and I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to this too. So
Yeah,
go vote.
we'll vote and kick this clown out. That's really all I got. From the Good and Terrible Show, my name is Travis,
My name's Nikki.
and we hope you have a great, blessed night.
Watch out for the fly.